Welcome to another episode of the Ask Swenk Show. On today's episode, we're going to talk about what do you do when you outgrow your clients? Should you outsource your content? And when is the best time to start an agency?
I'm Jason Swenk, and I'm answering your questions. And this is Ask Swenk.
Jojo says, I run an agency with 9 employees, and we've been growing at a fast-paced rate for 2 years. As we grow, we have been dealing with managing our old non-retainer clients with unrealistic expectations of budget and turnaround time. My question is how far do we need to go for these clients before it's time to think about politely passing them off? Appreciate that they were part of our business growing up at this point, but some of these clients are losing us money and get in the way of other work. So, Jojo, that's great. That means if you're feeling that you're outgrowing your clients, you've reached the next milestone. So congratulations. And yes, your advice is you need to start seeding them with freelancers and other agencies in short. The thing that a lot of agencies have issues with is saying, well, they've got us here. We wouldn't be there without them. But if you don't, they're going to pull you back down. There's a saying of like the 10 or 20 people that you hang out with, you actually become. So if you keep hanging out with these clients and doing this work, you're going to lose in a couple different areas. You're going to lose in opportunity cost, and you might be going back down. But from what you just told me, you're not. You're losing money, and they're becoming a kind of a thorn in your side, and you really need to move on. And it's great that you're acknowledging that, because a lot of people watching are going to have issues with this. I have clients that have issues with this. And they say, but they've got us here. What do I need to do? Or if I get rid of this $5,000 for these clients, then that $5,000 is going toward my payroll. All right, that's how they're thinking. But they're not thinking of going, if I got rid of this $5,000, that's losing me money or making me zero money. I could actually make 20 or 50 or 100 or even more. What I would do is I would say, hey, I've loved working with you for the past couple years. We've seen to get to a point where I really think it's probably best for you to go with this other firm, and I'll make the introduction for you. And I just want to say thank you very much for working with me. That's what we did. And that made a huge difference for us. Okay? So go do it. Nancy says, when will I be ready to start an agency? Should I start one now and leave my job? If you're still thinking like, should I start an agency? Because there's a lot of people that are thinking, well, should I start an agency? Because I really just don't want to work for this person, and I think I can do a lot better job elsewhere. And they've been thinking about it for 2 years. Do not do it. And I'm just trying to read into the question because the question wasn't very long. Now, if you're at a point and you're working for someone right now and you cannot stand it, I mean, literally you're pulling out your hair, you're clawing your eyes out, then you know you're a true entrepreneur and you really need to go do it. But if you've been thinking about it for years and years and you haven't pulled the trigger, it may not be the best. It may not be for you. And that's perfectly fine, right? You may be just needing to work for someone else, and you don't have to worry about all the other pressures that come with it. But if you're clawing your eyes out and you're pulling your hair out, then you got to go do it. And this is probably the best time you can actually start an agency. And if you start an agency, there's a couple things I'm going to give you hints on. You have to know, what does the end goal look like? And why am I doing this business? Is it because I love digital marketing technology and I love this one particular thing I want to go do? Then it's perfect. If you're just doing it for the money, don't do it. Like I always say, never just pick something just for the money. If you do it, you're going to be just chasing money all the time versus doing something that you truly love. The first couple things I would tell you is figure out where you want to go. Get that clarity, because so many of us, including me, someone asked me to do a website for them, and I just started doing websites, and I didn't have clarity for a number of different years. So we just kind of, went around a little bit. But when I got clarity, that's when we really started growing. The other thing that we did was we picked a specialization, and that's key. That's going to allow you to separate yourself from all the other Me Too agencies out there. Because you don't want to just say I'm a full service agency. Because, hell, there's people that run 600 people agency or 600 person agencies, and they still don't say they're a full service agency. So don't tell me you can do everything. Everybody sees through that. That worked 10 years ago, but not anymore. You have to be a specialist. And if you do that and you put out really amazing content, you can build an amazing agency, amazing business for you, but you have to build content because you have to prove value to the prospects and your clients coming to you. And that kind of transitions to the next question, which is, Enoch says, do you think I need to outsource my content so we can be more productive and we hardly have ever time to mess around with it? When it comes to outsourcing your content, I know a lot of agencies do this, and I know why you do it, because you're so busy. But I truly, truly believe if you want to demonstrate your value, it has to come from you. It can't just be like, let me outsource to these contractors or this particular company that will write 5 blog posts every week for me, so then I can come up on the search engines. They're just going to write general blog posts, right? And that gets me into a whole other rant. Stop writing the damn blog post like it's 2003 and you're just writing blog posts. You need to have rich media in there. You need to have video or audio or infographics or something more than just a regular boring blog post. To sum all this up, no, you should not outsource it, but you can outsource certain things. And I'm going to tell you what, I'm a horrible writer. Right? I failed English class. A lot of you that get my emails or see some of my things, obviously you know that, right? But I really truly believe it's in the context, okay? Not the spelling and the grammar. And for those that can look through it, great. For those that can't look through it, go somewhere else because I'm not perfect. So what we would do is I would literally get out my iPhone and I would literally record my thoughts after a client call in it. And then I would give this to a copywriter, and then they would sum up that kind of like in show notes, kind of like what I do in my normal podcast on Wednesdays, right? They basically listen to the interview, Stacy listens to the interview, and then does an amazing job with summing everything up in the key points in good English and grammar and spelling versus me actually doing it. So it saved us time. Other things is why I do so much video, why I do Snapchat, why I do Facebook Live. I'm creating content. You have to create content that gives value. And the different content mediums that you create, it depends on what you're good at. If you're not good in front of a video camera, don't do it. But if you know that's the end game, do whatever you need to in order to get better. When I started doing video, I was horrible. I mean, a lot of you, I joke around, I look like a hostage from Afghanistan and some of the green background. But I knew that was the end game because a lot of people were starting to rip off my stuff and claim it as their own for my regular blog post writings and stuff like that. So I was like, well, they can't rip off this face. So let me put it in video. And then I also wanted people to understand my personality. And so I wanted to do video. So that was me. And then also I wanted to do audio. I mean, if you think about it, you could actually start off with audio only. Like I'm on Anchor. I don't know if any of you guys have downloaded Anchor. You guys should. You can engage with me there as well. But Anchor is kind of like Twitter for audio. So you basically follow people and you could post questions and people can answer you in live in real time. And you have a great dialogue going back and forth. So make sure you look for me on Anchor. It's an amazing app. But that's a great platform to start off. And then you could tell the people to, hey, sum up all my anchors and create a blog post from it. And then also include and embed the anchors on my website, which you can do. And then that will get you used to creating content, rich media content. And then you could go to video. I mean, you can even literally do, kind of like a PowerPoint presentation with just your voice in the background. And if you can't do that, then maybe create an infograph. But that's kind of getting old anyway. But I would say outsource the work that will help you get there, but not the overall strategy in the game. Hopefully that helps. So if you like this, make sure you guys subscribe. If you're listening on iTunes, subscribe so you don't miss out. If you're listening on YouTube, subscribe. And also comment below. I want to hear where you're from, what kind of agency are you running, and where are you trying to go? And let's start the conversation going in the comments, whether it be on the website or YouTube or wherever it is. I want to hear from you so we can engage.